Rock on! Welcome back to the channel, Mike Talk Rock. Today we're going to do the first installment of Underappreciated, Underrated Bands. Pretty much the same thing. Going forward, I think I'm going to be highlighting 2 bands each episode, but for this one, I think it's a special one, it's a special band I really want to highlight. We're just going to do one band, and that is Mammoth WVH. I don't know if you've heard of them. I think they're going to explode here soon, but they're still relatively unknown. So this band is frontman by a person called Wolfgang Van Halen. Yep, that Van Halen. He's actually the son of the legendary guitarist Eddie Van Halen. And he's just as talented, maybe more talented, or just talented in more areas, but I'm very impressed with the music that he puts out. He's got 2 albums so far, third one's coming out end of next year, so excited for that one as well. So right off the bat, to me, they remind me of Foo Fighters, and one part that's actually very similar to Foo Fighters is that WVH, Wolfgang, he wrote and composed each part of the first album. He played every instrument, he wrote every instrument for it, in the recording, in the vocals and all that. He got a band for the tour and all that, but to actually produce the first album, he did everything. Just like Dave Grohl did with his first album on Foo Fighters. Like, that's not where the similarities end. I think they have a similar sound, so if you love Foo Fighters like I do, I think you're gonna love this band. One thing off the bat, with just 2 albums, I feel like they've already found their sound. Their quality index, which is just a term I'm making up, is very high, meaning, songs off their albums, what percentage of them do I actually think sound good? Very subjective, obviously, but, I'd say a vast majority of their songs are definitely worth a listen to, and I have listened to them and will continue to listen to them. And most bands don't hit a high quality index this quickly in their first 2 albums. The fact that they did this so early in just their 2 albums, that's why I'm pretty drawn to them, and I want to highlight them here before they blow up. While song to song their sound kind of deviates, as any band really is, they don't have as much deviation, as I call it, within their songs, right? They pretty much maintain a sound throughout. When they do have these little deviations, they really stand out and you really notice them. Those are probably some of my favorite parts of this song. I'll give an example. Song Mammoth, it's their namesake. It's the one that is off their first album. Their first album is also called Mammoth. Name of the band, Mammoth WVH. So I'll play it and here we go. Just that build up right away. So that wasn't the part where I was talking about with the deviation, but here it is. So here you have the chorus. It's a pretty powerful one. You get a deviation here, I just love this part. Here's the interlude, I think it's pretty powerful. Another example of a deviation that they do is Epiphany. This is a great song as well. I definitely recommend the listen. Slower, it still maintains that arena rock sound, but it slows it down a bit. This is not that uncommon in their discography, but it's still a hard rock, very heavy sound, very just pleasant to listen to. Then they kind of slow it down and even more, and I just like this interlude. You get like a little piano in there too. It's very melodic, very artistic type of music, so I just dig everything they do. Mr. Ed, definitely take a listen to this. It's got that thing that I call a screwdriver hook. Even Don't Back Down, also a screwdriver hook. Maybe I just like screwdriver hooks, I don't know. Just very catchy too. But I feel like it just screws into your brain. There's this Queens of the Stone Age song that also sounds the same thing. Battery Acid, right? I don't know if you've heard that one, but it just sounds like a screwdriver. If you like a good patient build up in the intro, you definitely got to listen to You're to Blame. Kind of sounds like Audio Slave, actually. That's all just been the first album. The second album, I think they kind of, well, Wolfgang kind of stretches his vocals a bit more. They up the intensity a bit more, so I enjoyed the second album a little bit more than the first one, I will say that. I'll start with one that I think could have been a single, really, and probably is a single, but actually like a popular single. Another Celebration at the End of the World. It's a mouthful. Just got those classic rock elements, really catchy with the sing. And this is almost like a pop verse here with a rock twist to it here. Hey now, shout it back to me. Almost in like the concert, just going like that, but yeah. And then this one's got a great solo too. I wouldn't say that Mammoth WVH is a solo band, but especially that second album, they really pick it up. So I'm gonna play a little bit of the solo here on this song, Another Celebration. He's a very talented guitarist, but they just don't feature major solos too often, at least in their first album, but they're very good to listen to. Talking about solos, this one on Take a Bow, it's one of my favorite solos, and I just heard it. Most of my favorite solos I've heard millions of times over the past 20 years, 25 years, but this one I've heard maybe 5-10 times, and it's just, I like it more and more each time I hear it. So let me play Take a Bow, play a little bit of the song, and then I'll get into the solo. That's the start, and just with the, almost like bells. So, you know, I kind of got that slower melodic feel to it. You know, it all builds up. I definitely recommend listening to the whole song before listening to a solo. I think that's the only way you can listen to solos. But you know, with a short video here, I'm just going to kind of skip to the solo, at least a part of it, and you know, show you why I'm so impressed with it. And by the way, it's over a minute long solo. I'll start from the middle of it. Just so technically sound, and they go through that whole hammer on, pick off, just progression. They do it twice, and it's just, I think it's so technically good. I mean, I'm not all about, oh, a solo has to be so technical, a guitarist has to be so technical, but I mean, you hear it all the time these days. These people now, guitarists are just so good, so they're all pretty technical. Here's some other parts of various songs that I definitely recommend. I'll flash them on the screen here, and you know, definitely just go on Spotify, go on YouTube, go on wherever, find their music, listen to a whole songs. I mean, me playing these little clips do not nearly do it justice. So here's a few. No matter what the distance says, you'll be okay. Oh. Anyways, that's Mammoth WVH, again, frontman Wolfgang Van Halen. If you like Van Halen, there's some similarities, but he's definitely got his own sound. I already pointed out, I think they're kind of similar to Foo Fighters as well. So, I think these people will blow up. I might be wrong. You know, they don't have too many listeners on Spotify right now. I don't know if that's the proper metric, but they are criminally underappreciated right now, criminally underrated, under-listened to. Check them out. You know, I love them. I think they're the next big thing. I'm really excited to see what their third album comes with. I mean, it's 4 years in the making right now, and you know, that's kind of a long time. I hope there's some special stuff on there. I'm sure there is. So stuff he's just trying to get perfect. So end of 2025, that's what they're shooting for. That's what I'm hoping for. Can't wait. Anyways, for more content like this, like and subscribe. I'm trying to come out with some more often now, but I definitely appreciate your viewership and your comments. I want to get better. I want to listen to your feedback. So comment here. What did you like? What's your favorite song? You know, I wonder if it's my favorite song as well. And what other bands you think I should highlight too? So I'd love to hear your feedback. Till next time.